Hi there, welcome back to this channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about nouns. Alright, so we are just going to focus on the major aspects that you need for your JAM. So let us get into it. Now, what are nouns? Nouns are generally naming words. Nouns are generally naming words. So they represent names of persons. They represent names of animals, places, events, or ideas. So the words which we use to refer to all of these things are called nouns. All right. So we say if a word, we also use the word nominal to represent them. So we say a word is nominal. That is nominal. That is, it is a naming word. Is that okay? So nouns are naming words, and they refer to all of these things. Now, another thing you should now know is the types of nouns that we have. Types of nouns. So what are the types of nouns that we have? We have one, the proper noun. So what is a proper noun? Proper noun is practically names of persons, names of places, sometimes even names of animals. All right, so those are proper nouns, but primarily they are names of persons and places. And one rule of thumb is that they are usually capitalized wherever they come in the sentence. So, for example, you see James, Charles. That's part of Charles. All right, etc. Names of England. All right. So these are proper nouns. All right. The second type of noun that you might have, that we have, is the common noun. And then we now have the concrete noun. And now the concrete noun is split into two, or is divided into two. The concrete noun is divided into two. We have the count nouns, or countable nouns, and the non-count nouns. Then we now have the abstract nouns. We have the collective nouns. I'm trying to make a list of them first. We have the collective nouns. We have the we also have the gerundive nouns. All right. So what are the common nouns? Common nouns are names just like it implies, common, names of common things, as in, or common names. Or another word we use for them is general names. Is that okay? General names. For example, father, mother, sister, son. All right, there's no one person who bears that name. We don't say your name is father, or your name is son, or your name is boy, or your name is girl. Is that okay? So all of these guys are common nouns. Is that okay? Your name is, common names, general names that you apply to a doctor, teacher. All of those names are not peculiar to a person, or they are not exclusive to a particular person. They are not exclusively for a particular person. Right, so those are general names, those are common nouns. Then we have the concrete nouns. The concrete nouns are divided into two. We have the count nouns and the non-count nouns. Count nouns or countable nouns are the nouns that can be counted. For example, we have chair. We have biros. We have book. Basically, concrete nouns are nouns that are tangible, that you can touch, you can see, you can feel. Is that okay? So those are tangible nouns. So example, chair, biro, marker, book, board, ceiling, the phone, the bulb, and all of those things. They are all count nouns because they can be counted. And they are all tangible because we can see them, touch them. Tangible simply means we can touch. Is that okay? All right, now, Now, air is also part of this. Air. But air is a non-count noun. Water, grain of rice, sand, all of these guys are non-count nouns, but also we can see them, we can touch them. So students are usually confused about how that air should not be a concrete noun, but an abstract noun. But in fact, if you sway your hand like this and sway backwards, you're going to feel the air. So it means you're touching the air, kind of. Is that okay? So air is actually concrete. Air is concrete. Air is not abstract. The idea is that you don't, if you still think air is abstract, it's because you don't understand the idea of abstract. Now, abstract are nouns that they are intangible. They are intangible. They have no physical representation. There's nothing tangible that you can hold and say, okay, this is this thing. For example, look at faith. So you tell me, I have faith in God. I say, bring the faith you have in God. Where is it? Bring it. You can't, it doesn't have any physical representation, so because of that, it's an abstract noun. I love you. I have deep love for you. Love. Show me the love you have for me. So, I mean, in practice, I could now buy things for you. I mean, give you gifts. But that is not still something that is what? Tangible. So love, all of these words, goodness, peace, war, all those guys, they are what? They are all abstract nouns, where we can only experience them, or maybe even feel them, like love and hate. We can feel them, but we cannot touch them. Is that okay? Then for the color, now remember I did not make a mistake when I said we could feel this guy. So feel is like, if you sway your hand right and left, you're going to feel the air touching the hand. Is that okay? So there is no mistake in that. You feel, you can also feel this by experientially. Is that okay? For example, I'm experiencing love for a fellow human, my mother, my students. That is love. Is that okay? Then collective nouns now. So those are abstract now, basically. And then one thing with them is that we don't pluralize them. Just like we don't pluralize these guys, except in cases where, for example, so take note of that, we pluralize all of these guys. We don't pluralize these guys. We only pluralize these guys when they have different sources. A typical example is water. You want to pluralize water. It means you are talking about water from different sources: spring water, rainwater, well water, all of those sources. So you're talking about those different waters. You can now say waters. But usually we don't pluralize them. We don't say air. We say water. Give me some water. We don't say give me some waters. Is that okay? Even when we want to say 2 sachets. So we say 2 sachets. Sachets. We don't say 2 sachets. We don't say 2 sachets of waters. We say 2 sachets of water. Is that okay? All right. So, but we don't pluralize this guy at all. We don't pluralize them. Faiths, loves, many loves, except if this were a verb, All right. So, then the collective nouns now. Collective nouns are nouns that, talk about an aggregate of things. Is that okay? For example, we have bunch of keys. We have bunch of keys. We have bunch of keys. We have swarm of bees. Swarm of bees. We have school of fishes. And make sure you are putting all these examples down. School of fishes. Another word we use for school is shoal. We use shoal when we are referring to their movements. Is that okay? In school. Is that okay? So when there are movements, usually is directional. Is that okay? And uniform. So we refer to them as shoal. So, but school of fishes, basically. We also have, so we have bunch, we have swarm, we have bevy of ladies. Bevy of ladies. Bouquet of flowers. Bouquet of flowers. And so many more like that. Basket of fruits. Is that okay? Gang of thieves. Army of soldier. Is that okay? etc. All right. Then gerundives. Gerundives are nouns that are made from verbs by adding ing to the verb, or by nominalization of those verbs. Is that okay? For example, the word playing. So if I ask you what part of speech does playing belong to, you say verb. But if in the sentence like playing during classes is bad, or basically I just annul this, playing is bad for students. So playing here is a gerundive noun. Playing is what? Is a gerundive noun. Eating fast is good, or eating slowly is bad. So eating slowly, eating there is going to be what? It's going to be a noun. So we call those kind of nouns gerundive nouns. All right. So our focus today is actually not just on these types, but on pluralization of nouns. And that is where your JAMB questions are usually asked. Students are usually tested on pluralization. Students are usually tested on pluralization. Okay, now we have, first we are going to consider the regular ones. But you know, the regular nouns. So I assume that you're supposed to know regular nouns, how to pluralize regular nouns as a student. So regular nouns are some of which we just add s, or add es, or add s, ies. So I'm going to do them together. So we have some we add es, others which we add ies. Is that okay? So for example, if we were to consider chair, the plural of which will be what? Chairs. Chairs. We consider phone, the plural will be what? Phones. We simply add s to the root word. Does that make sense? Marker. We simply add s, markers. Boy, boys. We simply add what? S to the root word. Now how about es words? They are usually words ending in s, such as glass. We have glasses. We have brush. And we have brushes. We have bush. And we have bushes. You see, we make these words by adding word es. We have bus and we have buses. Is that okay? Even bus. We have bus and we have buses. Alright, so these words, we make them by adding es, by adding s, the first set, by adding es, the second set, and by adding ies, this last set. For example, I have lorry, we have lorries. I have lady, and I have ladies, baby and babies. Some other words here in this category are like mango, tomato. You add es to those ones. You add es to those ones. Then the one without es are usually the ones that end with y. Fly, many flies, and this is not the verb. The verb form too is also like this. That is, she can fly, she flies, or it can fly, it flies. But this one is also the noun fly. All right, so these are regular nouns. Now, how about irregular nouns? Irregular nouns. So these are the ones that we need to alter the form to make the plural. So in pluralizing them, we alter their forms. So we call them irregular. Regular here because the way these ones are called regular here because the way we make the sound, the words, the plural forms is regular. We add s, we add es, we add ies. Is that okay? All right. But there are some words that do not work that way. Their forms change. Their forms change when we want to pluralize them. That's why we call them irregular. All right. For example, we have the singular By the way, this is singular, this is the plural. All right, plural. Now, we have like a mouse. That is one mouse, two mice, not two mouses. We have louse on the head, and we have lice. Is that okay? We have ox, and the plural form is oxen. We have child, one child, two or more children. You know, we have, these are the very common examples. We also have woman. We have woman, and pronounce this word, women. All right, so this is women, not woman, or man and men. All right, so you see that the form changes. Is that okay? The form changes, so we call them irregular nouns. All right, so these are the ways by which we pluralize them. Now, there are some other irregular nouns that the way we pluralize them is quite the same, but we still call them irregular nouns because it changes sometimes. I mean, it's different from this form that we did. All right. Some of such words are the one that end with US, and we pluralize them by adding I, by turning the US to I, as in we turn US becomes I. All right. Or in some cases, US become I or A in some cases. So for example, we have focus. This is singular. This is plural. Now in some cases, it might change. Focus and what? Foci. We have locus. We have locus and loci, yeah? We have radius and radii. We have cactus and what? Cacti, yeah? Cactus plant, yeah? We also have this Baba. The other guys that follow this form, we have alumnus. This is why it changes. Now, if it is a male, if they are aggregation of male, plenty male, you call it alum. Male. Now the alumna, you see it's confusing. Alumna. But if it's plenty female, you say alumni. Is that okay? But one person, you know what alumnus mean, right? Someone that graduated from a particular school. If I graduated from FUTA now, I'm an alumnus of FUTA. But if we are plenty males, that would be alumni. I really can't remember that. I think it's alumni for male. No, alumni for female, alumna for male. Yeah. So, but basically, these are the two forms, yeah? Then another form of regular nouns are the ones that end with UM, where UM will practically change to A. Do you remember? So, for example, we have stadium and stadia. However, you see this stadia, we can also have stadiums. We also have stadiums. It also takes S. Is that okay? All right. Then we have media, medium, media, not mediums. This one does not take S form. Does that make sense? We have memorandum of association. We have what? Memoranda. Does that make sense? We have curriculum. What does that become? Curriculum, that's double R, right? Curriculum, that is curricula. Does that make sense? All right. Give me other words. Quantum of energy, right? Quantum becomes what? Quanta, isn't it? All right. Forum. We had a forum. We had what? Fora. Yeah. Fora. Does that make sense? I have an agenda. Addendum. I have an addendum. Then how we have the agenda of the meeting. Is that okay? Agenda means the list of plenty agenda. Is that okay? Plenty addendum, kind of. All right. So I have an addendum, plenty agenda. All right. We also have platinum. Platinum is a metal. We also have give me some words. Criterion, phenomenon, criterion, criteria, exactly. All right, phenomenon and phenomena. It's not phenomenons. Yeah. Okay. I also have okay. Those are those words there. Now, before we get to compound nouns, which are the ones that you are most likely to see. We are still on pluralization, by the way. So what did I call it? Now, some words, however, don't take plurals. Is that okay? Yeah. Non-plural words. They don't take plural. E.g., sheep. All right? Sheep. Furniture. Yeah, it does not take plural. Now, it doesn't mean that it never takes plural at all. I'll tell you the only, no, in your jam, it will be in such condition where it will not take now plural. That's when it will be given. But I can tell you, I will explain when it can ever take plural. And those conditions are very rare. So that's why we say it doesn't take plural. Equipment, they don't take plural. You understand? Luggage does not take plural. Baggage does not take plural. Which one again? Luggage, baggage. Information does not take plural. So sheep does not take plural. Furniture does not take plural. Equipment, luggage, baggage, information, and notice the way I'm pronouncing them. Luggage, baggage, information does not take plural form. Is that okay? All right. So now the only condition for them to be pluralized is this. Let me give you this one that is very easy to understand. Equipment. If I say, give me your equipment, I mean the things you use to work, right? Or where are your equipment? Not where are your equipments. Do you know why? Because as an artisan, for example, you are likely to have equipment, not equipments. Equipments mean if you are a tailor or a tailoress, what will be your equipment? You have tape rule, you have scissors here, you have chalk for maybe tracing out, maybe pencil, and fabric, yeah? But if I now see a mixture of these when equipments can take us, so if you now see those things I just mentioned, you now see them with hammer, you see them with nail on the same table, you see them packed together with this rule that they use, that these guys use. You see them packed together with stethoscope, you see them packed together with thermometer, you see them packed together with a forceps, you see them packed together with syringe. You know that's a jamboree of different equipment, right? So you now say those are equipments because they are from different sources. Does that make sense now? So that's the only condition for these guys to take plural. But so you rarely have that. And you almost cannot even have that. So that's it. Alright. Now let's now take the plural nouns. The compound nouns, rather. The compound nouns. This board is lit. Compound nouns. Okay, so now compound nouns. So you should pay attention in this part, but I'm going to give you the trick. Now, when you see noun plus preposition plus noun, you should pluralize only the first noun, albeit there are conditions where you can pluralize both of them. I'll tell you, but for your jam, pluralize only the first noun alone. When you see what? Noun, preposition, and noun. As in words like mother-in-law, yeah? So it becomes what? Mother's good in law, not mothers-in-laws. Does that make sense? And not mother-in-laws. Good. Now the next one, look at this. Head of department. It becomes what? Heads of department. Does that make sense? Okay. What if we have son-in-law, sons-in-law, daughter-in-law, daughters-in-law? How about this guy? Man or war. That is men of war, yeah? God bless you. Men or war. Not men or wars. Okay. How about we have I heard some words here. Boy Scout, I'm coming. We'll get there. Now give me attorneys. Attorneys are law. Number 4. Attorney at law. What does that give you? Attorneys. Attorneys. How do you spell the attorneys? Is this a spelling? Attorneys, no. Yes, that's the spelling. Attorneys at law. Yeah? Attorneys at law. Okay. How about we have editor in chief rather. Editor in chief. What does that give you? Editors in chief. All right. So these are for noun plus preposition plus noun. Let's proceed to what if it was noun plus adjectives. All right. Now let's take nouns plus adjectives. Oh, I also forgot to tell you there are some words that exist in plural forms. That their natural form is plural. E.g., we have trousers. Is that okay? Scissors. Do you get it? Now these words are always pluralized, except, and they always take plural verbs. Is that okay? Scissors are bad. Trousers are long. Do you understand? Not trousers is long. And that's the way we spell them naturally. Trousers. Give me my trousers. Is that okay? The only time they take singular verbs are when we use them with a pair of. Is that okay? It is only when you use them with a pair of trousers. Is my whatever. Which one? Yes, sleepers. Yes, it's also part of them. Also, the other words here we have. Can't remember them now. We have pants. Do you understand? Glasses. Do you understand? Well, glasses now when we refer to spectacle. Okay, my glasses. Right. So those words they never take what? Singular verbs. They take plural, except when they are used with what? A pair of. Is that okay? So we said, now what if we now have nouns plus adjectives? Such as we have in the following words. Such as we have in the following words. We have Director General, Secretary General, Secretary general. What will be the plural form? We have director, general. We have going on. All right. So look at now. This is actually supposed to be noun plus preposition actually, because on is preposition. Yeah. Okay. So we have Secretary General. What will be the plural of Secretary General? This singular, this plural. That will be secretary. Whenever you have noun plus adjectives, should I remind you that you never pluralize what? Adjectives. You never do what? Pluralize adjectives. Adjectives never carry plural. So you pluralize only the what? Only the noun. Whenever you have nouns and adjectives, you pluralize the nouns only. Alright? So we're going to have what? Secretaries general. Alright? Then we have here, what are we going to have? Directors general. Okay, how about here? We're going to have what? Goings on. Is that okay? Is that clear? How about poet laureate? Exactly. Poet laureate will become poets laureate. Is that okay? What if we have surgeon general? That becomes what? Surgeons general. Because these words here are adjective here. General here is an adjective. Is that okay? It means that general, over everybody. Is that okay? All right. Because you see in army ranking, that thing is different. That general is different. General is actually a position. Is that okay? So that in army ranking is going to be a noun. I will get there soon. Also have notary public. Notary public becomes what? Notaries public. All right. And notice the pluralization too. Y changes to IES. Is that okay? All right. Now, what if we now have it switched or flipped? Adjectives plus noun. When you have adjectives plus noun, the condition now changes. When we have adjectives plus nouns. So in adjectives plus nouns, we have words like, now look at this one now, major general. What would that become? Major general, God bless you. Because here, general is a position, so it's a noun. So it's going to be major generals. Yeah. The next one, we have assistant director. What would I give you? As assistant directors. Becomes assistant, not assistants, assistant directors. All right. We also have court martial. We have court martial. We have lady drivers. Take off. Look at this. Take off. This become what? Takeoffs. Takeoffs. Is that okay? Takeoffs. We have lady driver. This become ladies. This become lady drivers. Here, lady is not a noun. It's talking about their condition as what? Women. So that's descriptive, yeah? Is that okay? Then the last condition we're going to take is noun plus noun. So what if we now add noun plus noun given to us? Noun plus noun, as we've seen, manservant. You have the singular and the plural. We have man servant, man servant. Is that okay? What if we have woman pilot? So whenever you have noun plus noun, you pluralize both noun. Men servants, thank you. You pluralize both. Remember, if it is noun plus pronoun plus noun, what will you give us? You pluralize only the noun. Noun plus adjective, you pluralize what? Only the noun. Adjectives plus noun, you pluralize what? Only the noun. Then if it's now noun plus noun, what do you pluralize? You pluralize both. Alright. Is it clear? So how about we have woman pilot becomes what? Women pilots. Okay. How about Lord Justice? Lord Justice. That becomes what? Lord's Justices. Is that okay? Alright, so the idea, you must get the idea, is just what? Pluralize noun alone if it's noun plus pronoun plus noun. Pluralize noun alone if it's noun plus adjective. Pluralize noun alone if it's adjective plus noun. And pluralize noun and noun if it's noun plus noun. Alright, that will be, I'm going to solve questions after now. So let's get into like two or three questions that you can see on this topic in JAM. God bless you as you do so. And subscribe to the channel to get notified. So if you help me to stand up and come off.